Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Let's talk today about what is blocking you, and especially what is blocking you from your purpose, your calling, and hearing God's guidance, the very guidance that is going to get you to the place of provision, the place of purpose, fulfillment, the very reason that you are here. And it may be that you have struggled with this for a few months, a few weeks. It may be that you've struggled with this for a few years, or maybe even your whole life. There are many different reasons that you can be blocked, especially blocked from purpose and hearing guidance. But I want to cover at least 5 with you here today before I get into what to do about it. I know that there have been many times in my life where I have searched and searched. In fact, I identified as a hidden seeker for a long time, searching for meaning, searching for purpose, searching for some secret ancient wisdom that was finally going to relieve me of the difficulty of what this life felt like at that time. Being what I would call a hidden seeker and in the corporate world, working a corporate job, putting on a suit or putting on the business casual attire and going to work and making money and investing in products and researching and making sure the return on investment was there and pitching to leadership at the highest levels in many large corporations. I very quickly discovered that life was not all I had hoped it would cracked up to be. In fact, in my younger years, in my naive teenage years going through college, I had a belief that I was going to change the world. I was going to do something that made a difference, that made the world a better place. And I got a degree in product development. And I thought, sure, I'll develop products that make the world a better place, maybe air purifiers or water filters or something of that nature. And I did go down that path. But very quickly, I realized that it was always about the money, always about the return on investment, and never about making the right decision for the customer, for the product, and especially not for the world. And I decided to go down the path of seeking my purpose. I knew that I was made for something more. And if you're anything like me, you have that deep yearning, that gut felt urge and desire, and almost an emptiness, almost like an unquenchable thirst, where there is this knowing that we are made for more, that we're here to do something to make the world a better place. And yet, clearly, this 3D path or this corporate path isn't cutting it. It's not quenching that thirst. It's not satisfying that desire. And that niggle in your back of your mind that says there's got to be something more and just never seems to go away. Well, of course, that would suggest that we're not going to find our purpose in the next guru or the astrology reading or even some pastor or some leader who wants to tell you what your purpose is. If they knew how to do that, we would have all sorts of content around how to find your purpose, and it would be effective. We have a lot of books that can teach us how to start to dig into it, but it becomes very difficult when we are again looking outside of ourselves. And that is what I was doing. I tried affirmations and hypnosis and QHHT and all the things to finally feel better, to finally feel fulfilled, to finally feel connected, to finally feel like I was receiving that divine guidance that assured me I was on the right path. And it wasn't until I discovered trauma and the nervous system and the body, and that the body is the temple, and that the spirit lives in the body, and that the body truly is an amazing divine portal that helps us connect to the creator, to hear guidance and to find alignment, which leads to purpose. And if you watch me, you know most of my videos are about healing trauma and understanding how the body can help. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'll come back to it as part of our solution. But I also want to offer you a couple more reasons why you might not be hearing the guidance or struggling to step into purpose or to find your calling. And in that journey of finding my purpose and calling, even after having found trauma spotting and understanding the body and how to listen to hear the body to get the crap out of the way so I could hear clearly and discern effectively, there were times where I was asking for guidance and not receiving it still yet. And I'll get into sort of how to clarify the vessel so that you can hear clearly. That'll be sort of the wrap up, the how to. We'll bring it all together. But I want to also point out that in the interim, in those moments where we are getting the guidance, or we have gotten a piece of guidance, but we have not yet taken the next step, that would be number two. The number two reason why I see people struggling to hear guidance and struggling to step into purpose is because we have been given a piece of guidance and we have not followed it. The follow through is critical, because we are not going to get a 5-year roadmap with a checklist of all the major milestones with, the little box for you to check off. Unfortunately, as much as us high achievers really enjoy the roadmap and the plan, we don't get that, because as much as this journey is about stepping into purpose and becoming all that you were made to be, it's equally about becoming the co-creator, becoming like the creator, and returning back to wholeness with the creator. And so in order to become all that we were made to be, to ascend to that level of unity with the divine, we have to learn how to be the co-creator we were made to be. And one of the biggest components in that process is belief, trust, faith, belief, surrender. They all go hand in hand. If we cannot trust the divine to lead us, if we get so far out of the surrender and the leaning on the creator to guide us, our ego starts to lead and we get off track. And so we get one step at a time, and we only get one step at a time. Sometimes, on the rare occasion, you might be lucky enough to get the grand vision. You might see the end game, or you might get a couple steps ahead, but that's usually pretty rare. Usually we get one step at a time. And if you're not hearing any further guidance, you want to look at, have I finished what I have been asked to do? Did I take that last step that I was gifted? The third reason that I would suggest that you may or may not be hearing your guidance or struggling to find your purpose and step into your calling is noise. A lot of noise, a lot of static. Again, this also connects with the nervous system and the healing of the trauma, clarifying the vessel and being able to receive clear messages. We'll get to that in a minute, but there can be other types of static. There are many outlets out there, plenty of avenues for noise lately. It might be social media. It might be friends and family. It might be the music you're listening to. It might be the food you're eating. We have to guard our gates, right? Guard your gates. What do you put in your mouth? What do you allow into your ears? What enters your body through your sight? All of this information is input. And if you think of the vessel and the brain as a very beautifully, highly attuned instrument that is kind of like a fancy sports car or maybe even a rocket ship, but we're feeding it junk, it's not going to function properly. We have to keep the vessel, keep the instrument well tuned, finely tuned, only allow in what is supportive of your relationship with your creator, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your immediate family, your support system, what is feeding you positive encouragement that is going to nourish your soul and not deplete you. A beautiful client and friend of mine called to my attention earlier the etymology of many of the words that we speak, to think that the word blessed could actually be indicating to be less. There are many words. He also pointed out weekend and weekdays. Are we weakening ourselves by calling them the weekdays? And are we finally freeing ourselves of the weakness in the weekend? We really want to be conscious of everything we say, especially, but everything we hear, everything we see, everything we receive. Another example would be if you've ever noticed if someone has said something to you and it stuck with you, it bothered you for a little bit, you had to kind of get it out of your system. Every experience, every environment, everything you come in contact with has an effect on you. Now, don't let this cause anxiety. Don't get hyper vigilant around, I can't go to the store and I can't go here and I can't go there. You are a sovereign being. You have power and authority over your life, dominion over your life and the earth. That's what this is all about, is learning to take our power back. We do not give our power away to anything by believing it has power over us. But to the extent that we can effectively move through life and still engage and still help awaken others, we also want to guard our gates, eliminate the static where it is not necessary, and only ingest what is supportive of the system, of unity, of oneness, of communication with our creator, and of course, our purpose, which in the end is going to be thriving and pouring into others. So remaining connected with others is a very important point. When I speak to eliminating noise and static, that does not mean eliminate people. The highest state of the nervous system is love and connection. We are here to shine our light, to show others. We need others. We need love and connection. So don't let that elimination of noise and static be an excuse for hermit mode. We are not going to heal well in isolation. Important for a time, but it is not our permanent state. Number 4, the fourth reason why we would struggle to hear guidance and to step into our purpose is a lack of trust in self and a lack of trust in our creator. And again, this will tie into the trauma and the nervous system piece that we'll get right back into in just a second here. But trust is one of the biggest challenges that I see when I help people heal trauma and step into their purpose is because we have experienced relational wounds, whether you want to call it complex trauma or just a difficult experience, maybe an overwhelming experience, a relationship that betrayed you or didn't show up for you in the right way. There is a loss of trust, not only in others, but also in self. And usually that will subconsciously or even consciously stem out to our creator, where we blame our creator for not saving us or not rescuing us or not preventing that problem or allowing pain and suffering in the world. And it can be a very difficult conversation to heal and restore our relationship with ourself and with our creator. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it comes down to, again, that healing and getting into the body and listening for the clarity that if I refuse to trust myself, or I refuse to trust others, or I refuse to trust my creator, I'm not going to be able to progress. And now I'm not saying that you should blindly, willy-nilly trust everyone, nor can we easily trust ourselves in our unhealed trauma state. We need to heal to be able to discern between the voices and discern between the noise and get clarity on why these things happen so that they can finally make sense and we can wisely move back into trust of self and of our creator and have discernment in when to trust others. But if you are in that state of refusal to trust, refusal to even just give the creator one more chance, it's going to block your ability to receive that guidance and step into your purpose. Number 5, this is an easy one. Once you, again, learn how to utilize the trauma spotting process and get into the body, because the body is a discernment tool, it will help you find alignment, but it is misalignment between desires and the lifestyle that is required or perceived to be required to meet those desires. Now, if you have this desire for financial comfort, to be free at every level, to move freely through life, both financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, professionally, all of that is going to require a certain amount of activity or action from you. Now, it doesn't have to be aligned or misaligned action, but often the brain, the nervous system, the inner child parts, they will perceive what is required to be out of alignment, to be unsafe, essentially. And this is a delicate balance, again, where the trauma spotting process is critically important and highly effective. It can eliminate a lot of wasted time and money and years in going round and round and round trying to find my purpose, when likely you touched into your purpose the first 2 or 3 ideas you considered, but there was an aspect of it that was out of alignment, or an aspect of it that was perceived as a threat, perceived as unsafe. Now, again, discernment is everything here, because sometimes the system, the unhealed trauma, the inner child parts, the nervous system that is designed to keep you safe will basically see a belt on the floor as if it were a snake. It will perceive threat where there is none. It will perceive it will think there is a danger in the path that you are trying to go down when there actually isn't. Now, in the same vein, at the same time, this is where discernment is so critical, where the body is such a beautiful gift, is it may not be a threat, but it may be out of alignment. Because it's out of alignment, it actually is a threat to your system. And so we really need to discern, is it truly a threat? Is it a perception issue? Is it an unhealed trauma issue? Or is it something that's truly out of alignment that I need to sort of do a perspective dance around to find, how can I do this? How can I accomplish the goal or arrive at the desired end game without this thing, or working around this thing? There are moments where it may be the right thing to do from an industry perspective. It may have worked for someone else, but it's not going to work for you. And the beautiful part about this is your needs were designed exactly as they are by the creator for a reason, which means if you need a solution with or without that thing, if you need a solution that creates a workaround the problem that it actually is out of alignment for you, you get to have your needs met. The creator wants you to have your needs met. The creator needs you to have your needs met, because when you are thriving, you are able to pour from an overflowing cup. And so misalignment between desires and the lifestyle or the strategy that is required to get to your purpose or to your desired end game is a challenging thing to navigate unless you learn how to utilize the body, unless you tap into the body. Trauma spotting through source tapping. Source lives inside of you. The creator lives inside of you. And this is kind of wrapping back around to step one, that unhealed trauma, a dysregulated nervous system, inner child parts that hold beliefs or fears that are preventing you from stepping into purpose it's not a life sentence. They're not always going to be that way. It doesn't always have to be that way. They are messengers, and they bring gifts. They bring the gift of discernment. They bring the gift of clarity. They bring the gift of healing. They bring the gift of freedom. They bring the gift of alignment. They bring the gift of limitless co-creation with your creator within the vein of your purpose and your goals, dreams, and desires that were put on your heart by the creator. And so this is the work. This is where we set ourselves free. This is where we become truly free. For so long, people would say, oh, the meat suit. You're just a soul in a body temporarily having a human experience. To some extent, it is true, but the body is not just a meat suit. The body is a beautiful gift. It is your fancy sports car or your rocket ship that will launch you into your desires when you learn how to heal with the body. The body is naturally designed to heal. You don't have to tell a cut how to heal. The body knows how to do it. You just can't keep pouring vinegar and salt on the wound. We have to set the stage for healing. We have to know how to move out of that sympathetic, activated fight or flight response and into the parasympathetic rest and digest, calm, peaceful, open, magnetic, receptive, healing state of our body. And yes, nervous system regulation tips and tricks are phenomenal. They are wonderful. We absolutely need them, but they're step 2, 3, 4 down the road. It's like trying to put a Band-Aid on a gaping wound if we're just trying to re-regulate over a nervous system that has an open stress response, an unhealed trauma. Now, I didn't love the word trauma. I think that trauma comes with an association to victimhood. And so we absolutely are not about rolling around in the mud here. We want to move through it, move it out of the body, and get it out of the way. We turn pain into purpose. So that pain, it has a gift. It had a purpose. It will help inform our purpose. It will be part of our calling. And as we heal, learning how to utilize the body and set the stage for healing, close those stress responses, and move that trauma through our body, move the stuck emotion through our body, work with our inner parts to reprogram the subconscious so that we no longer have these glass ceilings that limit and block us. that is when we really start to soar. And that is where this work is so beautiful, is the gift of trauma spotting that God gave me is so humbling because it's not just about healing trauma. That when we heal, we get that crap out of the body, we clarify the vessel. The vessel is a beautiful instrument meant to play the melody and the harmony and the frequency that is a match to our goals and dreams and desires. The body is meant to be a communication device. It is a discernment tool. It receives clarity, receives guidance, tells us where to go. You can start to use the body to figure out, should I go right or left? Should I have an apple or an orange? The body is a powerful, powerful communication tool with our creator. There's nothing like it. And so this is where we can find alignment through the felt sense in our body. We can discern which way to go. We can discern what purpose, what calling. We can discern, is the calling and purpose that I heard yesterday, that I felt called to yesterday, is it the same today? Am I being asked to evolve? Because things are happening so quickly and so fast that we have to constantly keep checking in. And so finding our purpose, finding our path to thriving, which is our purpose, so that we can pour from an overflowing cup into others and make the world a better place, is facilitated through that guidance that we receive through the body. Restoring our relationship with our creator, because the body is the temple of the spirit and the kingdom of heaven is within. If you'd like to know more about this, I have a beautiful free gift for you. It's the Manifesting Abundance Through Your Life Purpose and Trauma Spotting free PDF. All you have to do is click on the link below. Otherwise, if you'd like to continue the conversation, you can click this link here and watch the most recent video. I love you all so very much. Namaste.